Okay, now in this video, we are basically just gonna continue doing what we've done in the previous video, which means sculpting and adjusting the cameras basically. Also, let me also adjust some of the proportions a bit better. As you can see, I am adjusting the ears. Now, right now, what I am doing, I am not really looking at the forms. I am just looking at the bigger shapes. So you can see that I am just pushing the back a bit, like the back of the neck a bit, and putting the heads a bit above. And yeah, right now I am gonna adjust the eyes as well. Basically, I'm just gonna adjust everything from now on to better match him. And yeah, we are apparently starting from the eyes. One of the best way that I feel like doing this is to just put the reference on the side. Like, I have a second monitor, so I'm gonna have these references on my second monitor as well. Also, I am gonna have these references on the side for you to see what I am doing, and it would be easier for me to explain actually if I were to just have this on this screen. Like, right now you can see that he's smiling a bit, and because of that his left corner, like the left corner of the lip, is a bit above. But we cannot add the smile right now, so we need to make sure that we basically neutrally, like symmetrically match him as close as I possibly can, as close as we possibly can. But yeah, right now, as you can see, after a little bit of adjustment, I need to change the cameras, and this is gonna happen pretty frequently. When you start sculpting more, you're gonna realize that the cameras need to be adjusted a bit more as well. And that's just what the workflow is gonna be. You're gonna have to constantly make sure that you adjust the cameras after you are done with the proportional change. And as you can see that I've already adjusted two cameras after a little bit of sculpting, and it's okay, it's totally fine, because I've told you you're not gonna be able to match the cameras 100% accurately. You're gonna have to rely on your eyes, on your brain, and on your judgmental skills to actually adjust the proportions. So right now, I'm just gonna change the image of the front view because I feel like he's wearing the glasses, and yeah, because of that, I think the proportions are not coming out correctly. So, first thing first, with this, I feel like that I need to increase the focal length to be a bit more, because as you can see, like there are less distortion on his face, right? Like, right now the image that we are using, it seems like it is less distorted. That's why I'm increasing the focal length, and again I'm just using the same method to adjust the references, to adjust the cameras actually. And he have his mouth open a little bit, which means we cannot accurately, what do you call it, we cannot accurately match the jaws, because the jaws are going to be a little bit open, because his mouth is open. So we also need to take care of all of those aspect of these references. And the image that I am editing, like the not editing, but the image that I am taking the reference in the camera, I'm also opening that image on the right to see how exactly the shape and forms are, and this one is not matched. So yeah, we're gonna have to adjust this one as well from the side. As you can see, I think I need to adjust him on the z-axis a bit, but apparently I have undone it. Okay, let's see what I'm gonna do. See, this is gonna be the problem in the voiceover, because I feel like that I'm doing anything and then I just undo that whole process, and then I need to explain that way. I think it was not correct. So this is gonna happen. But yes, I am just adjusting him proportionally, and then I am just matching the cameras if I were to feel like that the camera have stopped syncing with the image. Not the image, but the model. Yep, you get the idea, right? Actually, English is not my first language, so my vocabulary is pretty weak. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to make sure that I actually give you each and every single information that I possibly can. As you can see, again, I am like looking at the corner of the eyes to match him perfectly. Not perfectly, you're not gonna be able to match anything perfectly, But yes, I am just gonna try and match him as close as I possibly can. In this case, the right eye is a bit lower, so I am doing the same as well. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty off. He's like super off. So yes, we need to make sure that we actually adjust each and everything as best as we possibly can. And yeah, I'm just looking at the reference to see what I can match. And this is basically going to be the process. It is gonna take super long to match him, and it's okay. It's totally fine. I'm gonna be here with you. I'm not gonna let you alone watch all of this stuff. I am doing a voiceover, which means I am also looking at this, recording of me just sculpting him, and I am gonna be here, isn't it? I mean, it's gonna be weird for you to not watch it alone. I'm gonna be here doing a voiceover, but right now I'm just like adjusting the eyes. I'm just trying to okay, so I have started adding these lines, and these lines are not okay, so these lines are only for the sake of how do you call it, for the sake of adding the markers of the face. This is not like proper sculpting. You're gonna see that I'm not gonna adjust the volumes. These lines are only here as a marker so that it would be easier for me to adjust the camera, adjust the reference so that it would be easier. Okay, now you can see what I'm trying to say. So basically, the angle of the nose is a bit higher in our case, so we need to push the nose back a bit. And this is what I was talking about. I am not gonna rely on the cameras 100%, 100%. And yeah, this is basically what I'm gonna do. Now you can actually see already that the angle of the nose is already matching a bit better. We just need to adjust the position of the camera so that it would be easier for us to match the nose. But yes, you can see that we've actually made the angle a bit better. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna try and look at all these references. You can see that we need to rotate him on the z-axis because the amount of eye corner we are seeing on the reference is not accurate with our model. And these are some of the things that we constantly have to adjust, we constantly have to look out for. And yeah, I'm just like matching the silhouette right now, silhouette of the face with the model. Yep, these adjustments are just gonna change pretty continuously, by the way. These adjustments that I'm doing, they are not gonna be final right away. You're gonna have to change them at least 5 or 6 times to accurately match the model, because once you try and match the model from the one view, you're gonna see that you messed up the other views, and then you're gonna have to go to that view to adjust the model. And this is just gonna be the process. You're gonna have to do that 5 or 6 times in order to accurately figure out your proportions and your forms. And right now, as you can see, that the nose is a bit more roundy, so I am adding that volume. Now again, this volume is not 100% accurate, but we are gonna surely go there. I'm just like adding these stuff because these lines, these nasal labial folds are actually missing. So yeah, right now the idea is not to match everything 100% accurately because the proportions are not matched, right? So it's a pretty idiotic decision to add the volumes 100% accurately because even the proportions are not accurate. So if the proportions are not accurate, the likeness is not gonna come. And because of that, you're gonna see me, go through an area 5 or 6 times to actually match it. And right now, as you can see, the silhouette of the nose is basically what I'm looking at. You can see that I've just drawn that particular area. And yeah, this is asymmetrical, and we're gonna have to match it as close as we possibly can with the symmetry on. So again, we won't be able to match it 100% accurately, but yes, we need to match it enough that it looks okay. And yeah, right now that's what I'm gonna do. You can see with the symmetry on as close as I possibly can is basically what I'm trying to do. Again, uh, let's see. Okay, so this is basically what I'm doing. The distance on that particular area is a bit high than what we have in our nose, and that's what I'm adjusting. Okay, one of the things that you need to notice here is that I'm not adjusting the forms, like I'm not adding or subtracting the volume, but I'm looking at the silhouette. And that's what I do. As you can see in this case, I'm looking at the silhouette of the outer area of the cheeks and how much of the wrinkle is basically affecting the silhouette from that particular angle. And that's what I'm trying to adjust. I'm just looking at the silhouettes right now. I'm not looking at the volumes. I'm not really looking at the shape of one particular thing, but the silhouettes only. And that's how I actually approach the likeness. I try to match the silhouettes of the things as close as I possibly can. And yeah, with adjusting all this stuff, I basically just, end up matching the character. I mean, maybe I'm not 100% like accurate. Obviously, I'm not 100% accurate. Like it is like super super hard to do it 100%. Actually, I feel like it's impossible to do 100%. But yes, do it as close as you possibly can, and the approach is pretty simple. At least for me, I just try to match the silhouettes. Right now, that's what I'm doing, and like you can see, I'm just looking at the reference and try to as close as I possibly can. Again, you can see that I'm not really concerned about the forms, I'm not concerned about the volumes. I'm only concerned about if the silhouette is matching. And like you can see, okay, so okay, right now I'm saying that we need to add this cap on the nose, and we're gonna go through this area again and again and again. I think 5 or 6 times. Actually, I'm gonna go through all of these areas 5 or 6 times. I mean, maybe because I'm a slow sculptor, maybe that's also a reason, or maybe I'm not that good of a sculptor. It takes me time to, it takes me time to actually, perfect one particular area. Basically, like it's just something that what I do, I just cannot get satisfied with what I've done, and I just go through one area multiple times to make sure that this is actually good enough for me to proceed. So yeah, right now I am just adding this volume. By the way, this nasal level fold does actually go over the nose, as you can see I have done here right now. And this is kind of important. Maybe your character have it too. In this case, I might not have it. As you can see, I have also just drawn it. It does go over like this. Maybe in this case it's not gonna be the case, but yes, maybe your character actually have it. So that's how it usually goes, by the way. That's why I have this is kind of muscle memory. Whenever I try to do the nasal level fold, I just tend to do this because it does happen with most of the characters. Maybe in this case it is not happening, so I might have to remove that. But yes, the nasal level fold does actually roll over to your nose, as I've drawn before. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on adjusting everything. Like right now I'm just adjusting the outer part of the nose. You can see the silhouette that I've just drawn, and we're gonna try to match it. um yeah, we're gonna try to match it. And again, I am adding this volume just to match the silhouette. I'm not like adding the exact volume of the nose. I'm just trying to match, not match, but I'm just trying to add this volume so that I can actually match the silhouette, nothing else. Right now, I really don't care about the volumes. I really care about the silhouette of my body parts, not my, but the character's body parts. Yeah, you can see this shape. Again, this is silhouette. This is not form, this is not something else, but that's actually the silhouette of the nose. uh, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna adjust it. This is so okay. I'm already kind of thirsty, not gonna lie. I had no idea that talking for so long is gonna be so exhausting, but yes, That's what I am doing right now. I am just talking continuously for. Okay. Yeah, as you can see that I've just adjusted the silhouette, but this is not the final adjustment. Trust me. Once we start rotating our model and once we start looking at the same part from different angles, we're gonna start realizing that we need to adjust that from each and every angle. And once we adjust it from one angle, we're gonna destroy the second angle completely, so we're gonna have to go through one shape again and again and again to basically try to match it with every angle, and that's how you would achieve the likeness. Right now you can see the distance, like on the y-axis, the length of the nostril. So I am also adjusting that. You need to make sure that you get the distance between the things right. So if you were to just look at the reference, you can see how big the nostril is, and how much it is in front of the face or how much it is in back of the face. So these are the things that you need to make sure that you get. Again, let's actually talk some random stuff. I mean, I'm just adjusting these stuff is what I'm keep on saying, and I've actually run out of words again, so I have no idea what to commentate right now. I'm just looking at the references. By the way, how's your day going? Have you like drink some water? Come on, what are you doing? Water is, do you know how important water is? I think everyone should drink water. I mean, more than they do. Wake up early in the morning, by the way. Take some vitamin D. It's like super important. Otherwise, you're gonna just start feeling pain in your joints. And let's just talk about your health later. As you can see, I have added one more camera, and I am adjusting it. You already know the process, so I'm not gonna go into the detail. But yeah, I have added one more camera, and we're gonna use this view to adjust him a bit more. I was talking about vitamin D. Have you taken it today? You're gonna start feeling pain, by the way, once you start getting older, and there would be deficiency in vitamin D. So wake up early. The sunlight of the morning is actually pretty good for your body. You need to take it. It's free, by the way. So why not? This is something that's gonna actually. Do you know what all this all these lectures that I'm giving you, even I myself don't wake up in the morning. It's so easy to say all this stuff, to wake up in the morning, to drink more water. Even I have not, like, I don't even have a water of bottle at my side, you know, saying this stuff. But yeah, right now you can see that I am looking at the silhouette of the head from the side view, and I have adjusted it. By the way, this is not anatomically correct, so I am going to do that. I am assuming that you know a little bit of anatomy if you have bought this course. And if you are a total beginner, don't worry. I'm just gonna create another course with a better audio quality, actually, because I'm gonna be buying a mic after that. But yes, I have adjusted it from the side, and again, you're gonna have to just and go through go through each and every camera angle. I sometimes just gonna forget the words like this, so you're gonna have to adjust with that. Now, this is for the sake of marking, actually. I'm not gonna 100% accurately adjust the volumes. All of these stuff that I'm adding are just for the sake of having the markings over there, at least for right now, because again, we're gonna have to adjust all the likeness. I am not really concerned about the volume. Okay, so in this case, you can see the distance, like between, like, I don't even know what do you call it, but you get the idea. I've just drawn the line. So this is what I'm looking at right now, how much of the distance we need to add, how much of the distance we need to decrease. And you can also see how we need to adjust these volume, because if you can see on the right side of the nose, the volume is pretty, like, what's the word? Pretty I don't know the word, actually. but the volume is pretty noticeable, you can see. And that's what I'm doing. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just adjusting the volumes. Okay, so in this case I was not seeing that particular volume coming out. That's why I've pushed that back. And yeah, okay, again I'm just trying to match it with the silhouette. There is nothing nothing different that I'm doing that I need to explain it to you. I'm just looking at the silhouettes. Um, okay, is there anything else that we can talk about? Like, do you have any random topic in mind? Maybe if you do, you won't be able to tell me, obviously. But yeah. Okay, so in this case, I need to lower down the upper eyelid a bit, as you have just seen me draw. So what I need to do, I need to create a mask, and I am just gonna create a mask so that I can push the either the eyelid down or the upper eyelid area up. So one of the two things is what I'm gonna do. I totally forgot what I actually did. Okay, so I'm gonna push this part up. Yep, that actually made more sense now that I'm looking at it. I am just gonna push it more than I need to be, because it's easier to add the volume later than to, mask it again and then push it back again. So I think I'm just gonna push it more than I really need it to be. And again, I'm just like looking at how much of the eye is looking, and we need to make sure that we get all of these angles correctly, which means we need to use the you can either use your crease brush or draw sharp brush to actually adjust this angle. And you can see that it was coming out, and now we need to push it back in so that it would be more accurate. Like you can see, it is actually more accurate. The angle is a bit better. And these are some of the things that I look at pretty consistently, silhouettes and the angles. So yeah, now I am gonna select one more image like this one. And you can see there's also one more thing. I always try to match the angle, like the position of my model with the position of my reference, so that it would be easier for us to match. And yeah, I have matched the model, and right now you can see there is this corner in the reference which we don't have in our model, so we need to push this area back a bit. And that's how we're gonna match. We're gonna slowly but surely gonna go there. I can assure you that. Just look at all this stuff that I'm looking at, and you'll be there in no time. Obviously, all of the things that we are doing, we're gonna have to adjust that in the future, because we are only adjusting it from the one camera angle. Once we go through each and every single camera angle, you're gonna see that we have to match that particular area from that particular camera angle as well. So go through camera angles and start matching those areas from every single camera angle is basically how you would get to the likeness. And yeah, as you can see, the corner of the eye need to be sculpted a bit. Like you can see in the reference, it is pretty prominent, and we have to do that in our case as well. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. And okay, so this part you can see it's pretty straight. In our case, it's not. So yeah, we need to do that. And again, I'm telling you what I'm looking at right now, so that you can basically grasp, and you don't really have to guess. You don't really have to guess. Excuse me. To uh, like, wait. I said that two times, and I still have not figured out how to say it. So, okay. So I basically am telling you what I'm looking at, so that you don't have to guess what I'm looking at and adjusting. You can basically be with me in this journey. And okay, so from the front view, you can see it's not straight anymore. I need to push it down a bit, like just a little bit. Yeah, you can see just a little bit, not like create a corner. So I'm just gonna adjust it a little bit. And the corner is pretty sharp. In our case, it's not. It's pretty roundish, so we also need to do that. And just looking at the things like this, we're gonna just keep on matching it more and more and more, and we're gonna just go there. We're gonna get there, sorry. I was pretty silent for a few seconds because I've totally forgotten that I need to do a voiceover. But yes, um, like right now I'm just trying to match the silhouette again. The volume doesn't really matter right now. We need to make sure that the proportions are correct, and we're gonna be adjusting these volumes later, so it's not really something that you need to be super worried about. And yeah, right now I'm just adding the wrinkles that I've just drawn. These wrinkles are more of a marker, actually, a marker that subconsciously tell us that yes, this wrinkle is there, so the likeness is gonna be much more closer to our reference. And yeah, this face doesn't really look that good, right? I mean, the final render that you've seen is so much more better, but yes, I can assure you that we are gonna get there. Isn't it weird? I mean, look how the face is looking right now. Okay, so we need to adjust the chin now. As you can see, the volume that I've just drawn, we need to adjust volume. And I've told you that we don't really need to do the volumes, but if the volume is like super off, we can do it. It's not like, it's not a rule, like you have to follow the rule or you won't be able to get the likeness. I mean, every artist have a different approach, and I'm just showing you the tools. I'm not like telling you the rules. You know what the difference is? Tools basically make your work a bit easier, so I am just giving you the tools to do the likeness. If you feel like that you have better methods, feel free to do it. Actually, it's better for you because every artist is different. I can just show you my method. Maybe you'll be able to figure out a method that's gonna work better for you. And yeah, okay. After that motivational speech, we're gonna go back to adjusting the eyes. Yeah, literally right now I'm just adjusting the face, and I know that I've said it so many times, and trust me, I'm gonna say it so many times, but I really don't know what to commentate. Like literally, okay. Okay, so in this case, you can see that I am gonna be drawing the outer part of the upper lip. I don't even know what do we call it actually. I have no idea. I should have read it. I should have, learned the name of this outer part, the like the edge of the lip. But yeah, I don't even know the name of the muscles, and I can sculpt them. Isn't it awesome? You don't really need to know the name of the muscles if you really want to be a good artist. I mean, it would be easier to communicate, I guess, because you don't have to say that the muscle on the top of the shoulder and this or that or that. You can just name the muscle and it would be easier for someone to understand. But yeah, if you want to sculpt something, you don't really need to know the name of the muscles. It's just good for the communication. Okay. So, right now, I need to rotate the model, I think, a bit, because as you can see from the side view, actually not rotate the model. I think we need to adjust the features on the face. I think, yeah. We need to adjust the camera and the feature of the face to match it from the side. But yes, right now I'm adjusting the cameras, and as you have seen, we've already matched it from the side view, but because we've been sculpting, we've been changing the proportions and the shape and the position, we need to readjust it from the side. So this is something that we're gonna do pretty consistently in the future. We're gonna be sculpting him, and then we're gonna see that the camera is now a little bit off. So after that, small session of sculpting, we're gonna have to adjust the camera as well. And as you can see right now, we need to push the eyes back a bit. Actually, the outer corner of the eyes, because anatomically speaking, the outer corner of the eyes needs to be a bit back, a bit behind than the inner corner of the eye. So that's how the anatomy works, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I just done actually. Yeah, we can. Yeah, as you can see, I am adjusting this shape, this shape of the neck. Actually, with me talking, I've just realized that I am running out of energy. As you can actually realize, also I'm not really doing something, different. I'm just repeating the same thing. I'm just looking at the silhouette, and as you can see, the distance between the lip, like the upper lip, is actually kind of small, so we need to adjust it. And that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm looking at. And that's how I am just gonna adjust everything. I'm just gonna look at the reference to see the distance between things. And yeah, these distances basically give you the idea of how much you want to add and how much you want to subtract. So in this case, I've realized that the lips are supposed to be a bit thinner, and that's what I've did. I've just adjusted the lips looking at these references. Now, from different view, you can see that the lip is actually looking a bit more broad, especially the lower lip. So perspective changes. As I've told you, you cannot rely on the one view only. You have to make sure that you actually adjust the form from each and every angle. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. You can see that I've just drawn this triangle to show you like the angle between the, like the angle at the middle of the lip, middle of the upper lip. And also you can see the shape of the upper lip going down to the corner. So I also kind of want to achieve the same shape, and I am just marking that with the draw sharp brush. You can see that I'm not really adding the volumes. I am still focusing on the silhouette of every single part of this body. Right now you can clearly see that the volumes are not correct, but volumes can be changed afterwards. Like volumes are not really that big of a deal right now. The silhouette and the proportion is a big deal. The position of your like the position of your what do you call it, like the body parts are important when you are dealing with the likeness. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just adjusting the silhouette. I'm adjusting the position of these parts. Like you can see that the lips are supposed to be a bit behind, so I've done that, which means I've just adjusted the position. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. Again, I can clearly see that the volumes are not correct, and it's totally fine. Right now, I don't really care. Okay, now I am gonna, this is important. I am gonna be using the face set function in Blender, and the reason is I wanna separate the bottom lip from the upper lip. And what I'm doing right now is not something that you should do. The easier way is you can just draw a face set and then just grow that face set, which is what I'm gonna do right now. The I think the shortcut is Control W. There is a shortcut to grow the face set, by the way. You don't really need to draw all of this on your own. You can just, just draw a little bit of spot. I am gonna do that in the future, so I'll explain that in the future. Right now, what I've done is not the, like, I feel like there are better ways, but yes, right now I'm just adjusting the bottom lip. Just just ignore that I've used the face set in a bad way. There is a better way, and I am gonna show that to you in the future videos, so don't you worry about it. Yeah, as you can see right now, I'm just pointing that this is not symmetrically Like this is not symmetrical. Like the right outer part of the bottom lip is a bit below, and we cannot do that right now because we cannot really break the symmetry at this point. We're gonna be breaking the symmetry. Yes, we can actually talk about it. I think we are gonna be breaking the symmetry after we are done with the pores. So we cannot actually break the symmetry until we are done with the pores. Actually, technically you can. It's just that you have to with the symmetry off, you're gonna have to create pores on both side of the face, and it's gonna take more time. And because we actually wanna save time, we are gonna be doing the pores with the symmetry on. So until we are done with the pores, we cannot break the symmetry. And yeah, right now I'm only adjusting these stuff symmetrically. In the future we are gonna be breaking up the symmetry, obviously. But yes, right now, until we are done with the pores, we cannot really break the symmetry. Actually, we can. I've told you the reason. You just have to do the pores on the both side, and that's just gonna take more time. So yeah, okay. Now I'm looking at this from this angle. Actually, I'm just gonna change the angle as I've said it. Okay, so from this angle. Cool, cool. Okay, so again, I have just run out of things to say, and I've also bought up a water of water. Wow, a bottle of water, by the way. So if I were to just stop doing the voiceover, either I am looking at YouTube, running away from the responsibility of doing the voiceover, or I'm just drinking the water actually. And yeah, again, I'm just adjusting, looking at the silhouette. There isn't really anything awesome that I'm doing. Actually, it's awesome. Do you know what else is awesome? You're awesome because you've bought this course. You're gonna be more awesome if you were to share this course with your friend. Don't let them, take it for free. Make them pay. Okay. Don't like share your ID and password with them. They're your friends. They're not your like. Make them pay. Okay, that's the point. You need to make sure that your friends also pay for which you've paid. You know what I'm saying? Don't give them for free. Yeah, that's gonna make you more awesome. By the way, what's actually awesome is that this face set thing that we've done, I'm gonna be showing you a better way of doing it, so don't you worry about it. The better way is pretty simple. I can talk about it actually right now. If you were to just draw a little bit of part at the bottom of the lip, bottom of the bottom lip, you can just spread it like by pressing. I've forgotten the key. You can just go into your mask option and just look for the shortcut. I've forgotten it. I should not have forgotten it because this is a course and I'm supposed to tell you each and everything. But yeah, I've forgotten it. This is a little bit embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. But you can just look for the key in the mask menu, and you can just spread that particular area, and is just gonna that's just gonna cover all of your bottom lip area, and it's gonna be super easy to do a face set that way. I'm gonna show that to you in the future, so don't you worry about it. But yes, right now I'm just again looking at the silhouette. I've already talked about it. I don't know how many times I've said this word. This is I've never really said this word in my entire life. The amount of time I've already said it right now. Okay. Again, you can actually see the lip that I can look in the reference, like the lip that is touching the upper lip. I'm looking at the reference, how much of that particular part is in front, and I am just adjusting that particular area. So again, looking only at the silhouettes, not at the volumes. And trust me, volumes are just gonna be the byproduct of matching the silhouette. You're gonna realize that you are automatically just start adding the volumes once you start adjusting the silhouette. So that's pretty awesome. And yeah, as you can see by smoothing, I've actually kind of messed up this area. So I need to adjust this first, and there is a gap at the corner. So yes, I need to adjust it right now. I'm not doing it. Maybe I'm gonna do it in the future, but I'm only focusing on the lip right now, as you can see. And that's how it goes. You sometimes, adjust one part and then you go to other, and you just, cycle between all of these. I am doing the lip, but that does not mean the lips are just gonna be final now. I am gonna go to the lip again and again and again, as I've already told you. This is a process. This is not like you cannot just do it one time and be like, okay, I'm done. I've adjusted it. I messed it. No, it's not gonna work like that. You're gonna have to go to that particular area again and again to make sure that everything actually works. If it is not working, maybe you need to make sure that you adjust that particular thing from every single angle, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking at the side angle. I've looked at the third, fourth angle before. I am also gonna look at the front views, and I'm just gonna make sure that from each and every angle it actually matches with the reference. And I've told you, once you start, like, you can see that we've adjusted the lips from the previous view, and from the side view it just does not match. So we're gonna have to match it now from the side view. And that's how it goes. Once I start matching it from the side view, you're gonna see that we're gonna have to adjust it from the front view as well, because we might have messed up the front view. So yeah, this is one of those things that we're gonna have to constantly do, and we're gonna have to be constantly make things awesome, just like you are. I've already told you why you're awesome. Make them pay. Okay, make your friends pay. Okay. Again, because I'm actually doing so, like, this is also this is also the first time that I'm creating a course like this. So I really have no idea how to, like what to talk in between this stuff. I've already told you what I'm doing, so I have no idea what to explain actually. I mean, right now I'm just like, okay, so right now I'm just adjusting, not adjusting, but adding the volume that we have in this, the outer corner of the lips at the bottom lip. So yeah, just adding the volumes as well. Even though I've told you the volumes are not important right now, actually you can add the volumes. It's not like you're not supposed to. Like, you can see that I'm fixing the volumes now. But yeah, priority is obviously silhouette. I've told you it's not a rule. It's not a rule, but it's a tool. There is a difference between rule and tool. I really hope that it's clear enough, because both are pretty similar words in terms of, like, both are okay. I am gonna forget the word now. This is so embarrassing. Yeah, both words are rhyming, so it could potentially be hard for you to understand. It's not a rule to always match the silhouette, but it's a tool. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So as you can see, I am slowly adjusting everything that I possibly can. And yeah, um, this is just how the things are gonna work. Right now, I'm working on the lip area. In the future, I'm also gonna work on the eye, the nose, the ears. Basically, gonna cover everything. And still, it is not gonna be final. I am doing the lip right now, but I can assure you that I'm gonna go over the lip multiple times, even after I'm done with the lip right now. And yeah, now I'm just gonna start focusing on the eyes actually, I think, or maybe not. I have no idea what I'm gonna do next, by the way. Okay, let's see. I'm going back to the lip. Okay, okay, let's adjust this part. This is actually so weird looking yourself sculpt, because you are seeing so many things wrong with the model, and you are like, dude, fix this, fix that. And yeah, you can just see yourself sculpting. This is actually so weird, but it's okay. This is gonna get better because you've seen the render actually. Isn't it awesome to, look into the future? I mean, you already know it's gonna look okay. I think. Is it okay for you, by the way? I mean, it's pretty decent for me. We've done everything in Blender, everything was done for free. Everything we have only used GIMP for like 1% of the time, and even GIMP is free. I mean, you can produce this quality of content with the free software, and I mean, it's pretty awesome that you can actually do this for free. Everything is basically free that we're gonna do in this course. So I think it's pretty awesome. Blender is actually such a good tool that you can literally produce an entire portrait. The things that I've done in the GIMP, by the way, you can even do that in Blender. Can you imagine that? Like, I'll show you in the future. You could have done that in Blender, but I just wanted to show you how you can use GIMP instead. But yes, Blender is definitely capable of doing all the things in Blender. Like, you can sculpt in Blender, you can texture in Blender, you can render light, you can do everything in Blender. I mean, you don't really need to even go to a third software or a second software to do anything else. And that's what we are gonna do. We are gonna do all the things in Blender. I've already told you in the intro, by the way. But man, I love this software really. This is a game changer, seriously. I mean, if you were to look at any other software, I am not going to criticize any of the software, by the way, but yes, if you were to just look at any of the 3D software, so for example, before we start, okay, wait, before we talk about any other software, you can see the volumes that I'm drawing, and these are the volumes that I actually want to add. Where I've drawn the arrows in the middle, it is a concave shape, and the shape on the top and the bottoms were convex, as you've just seen me draw. So I am gonna add those, and these are the volumes that I'm looking at right now in the images. And yes, that's how I basically look at the volumes. If the volumes are concave or convex, how much of the volume is coming out. And looking at these references, you can see that we also need to add these wrinkles. And I am just gonna do that. But I was talking about Blender, and I'm not gonna criticize any of the softwares. But if you were to create, if you wanted to create a portrait like this in any other 3D software, I don't think there is a software out there that can single-handedly could create something like this. Like, if you were to talk about Maya, I know Maya have Arnold. Maya is actually pretty awesome at doing animation. The Arnold gives the ability to render it pretty nicely. I'm gonna say it. Okay, I feel like Arnold is even better than Cycles, right? And you can say whatever you want on that statement, but I am gonna say it. Arnold is a bit better than Blender, and it's okay. It's totally fine. I mean, it's not like it's not a big difference. Arnold is just a little bit better than Blender, and it definitely have some features that does make it a bit more superior than the cycles. But yeah, if you were to just look at these software individually, like Maya, 3ds Max, or Cinema 4D, Houdini, ZBrush, they cannot individually, I'm talking about single-handedly, they cannot actually produce the result that Blender can do. And this course is all about that. You can do sculpting, you can do texturing, you can do lighting. Like, you cannot do all of that stuff in any other 3D softwares. Like, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, I feel like Blender is pretty awesome. And yeah, right now I have actually started to adjust the volumes. So this is also that I've started to do. And I've already talked about how I am looking at the volumes. As you can see, this part of the nasal level fold is gonna go in. Actually, not the nasal level fold, the back of the nasal labial fold. Yeah, right now I'm also using the clay strip, by the way. I have not talked about the brush, right? Because I am still in the early phase, I am using the clay strip brush at its default settings. And what's gonna happen in the future is, as okay, before the future, let's talk about this silhouette that I've just drawn. So I am gonna adjust the camera pretty close to the reference, and I am gonna try to adjust the silhouette of these shapes. So for example, I think the eyes needs to come out a bit. Like you can see the eyes were a bit behind, right? If you were to match the camera, you can see that the eyes were a bit behind and now they are in front. So yeah, these are some of the things that I always look at. You always would find things like this. Right now we are so far with the likeness, like you can clearly see that we are like pretty far behind in terms of likeness, but it's okay, we are gonna go there. I was talking about brushes, right? Right now, because we are in the early phase, the detailing doesn't really matter. I am using the clay strip brush with the default setting. But once we are gonna be in the future and we're gonna have some detail in our model, we're gonna be removing this hardness, this sharpness, this that the clay brush has. You're gonna see that this sharpness that we get from the clay strip brush. And yeah, okay, right now I'm looking at this triangle and this is a pretty flat surface, right? You can see even on the right side and on the left side that this part is actually kind of flat, not entirely flat, but you can see the volume that we have over there, and that's why I've drawn it as well. Yeah, we're gonna right now I'm actually reducing the volume in the nasal labial fold. So obviously have started adding and removing the volumes, and yeah, these are some of the things that I've started to do, which means I'm no longer working on the proportions right now. I mean, right now I am going to be adjusting the proportions. Don't get the wrong idea. We have not, we are not close enough to, start working in the volumes, but sometimes you feel like that you want to work on the volume because it's more fun, right? Working on the volume is definitely much more fun than working on the silhouette. So right now I'm just working on the volumes, and you can see that I'm not like 100% matching the wrinkles, because the wrinkles on the right and the wrinkle on the left corner of the eyes are different, and for some reason the symmetry was not working, so I need to re-symmetrize the mesh. And what's gonna happen now is I actually remember what's gonna happen. It's not gonna work, so I need to apply the multi-res, and then I have to just go into the symmetrize option, and it's not gonna symmetrize actually, not correctly. You're gonna see a line, right? And the way we're gonna be fixing it is pretty simple. We're gonna have to go into the edit mode. Right now I'm not doing it. I know that I'm gonna do that in the future. So we're gonna have to go into the edit mode right now. Again, I'm not doing it again. This is, I should actually edit it out, I think, or maybe not. Let me just show you the problem that I was getting. So with the symmetrize option, you can see that the vertices that were in the negative x axis basically have created this weird mess. And the way we're gonna have to fix it is actually pretty simple, but I'm not really doing it right now. Okay, maybe I'm doing it right now. Okay, yes, you have to go into the edit view, edit mode, sorry, and you're gonna have to hide the middle edge loop, and then you have to delete one side of your part, and then you need to re-add your mirror and remove the merge. Actually, you can remove the merge, or you can decrease the distance. And as you can see, the middle edge is actually not in the middle, so you're gonna have to put it in the middle by putting the cursor in the middle of the scene, and then like scaling it on the x-axis with the cursor as a pivot point. So that's one of the things that you're gonna have to do. Also, I need to adjust it. Let's just let's just remove the mirror modifier, not remove it but disable it, and then push it back on the x-axis. Right now I'm not able to do it because you can see on the right, like on the top right corner, the symmetry is on the x-axis. I just cannot able to figure out right now, but I'll show you. You can see the symmetry is on. If you were to just turn off the symmetry on the x-axis in the edit mode, you would have been able to move those edges. But I had no idea back then. I was figuring it out, and yeah, I've just noticed it right now. So you are learning and I am learning. I'll be able to fix it in the future pretty efficiently. But yes, we both are learning. Isn't it awesome? I think it's awesome. And your friend is not awesome if he were to take this course for free from you. So make him pay if you want your friends to be awesome, by the way. Some of us don't really want our friends to be awesome, isn't it? I mean, some of us are really selfish. I mean, I want my friends to be awesome. They're gonna help me uh, create a awesome studio in the future. That's the plan, basically. So I really want them to be awesome. Okay, so now that I figured out how to, do it, I am just gonna merge everything and let me also just okay. I think everything is fine. Yep, I everything does look okay. Um, uh, is there any problem? I don't know why I'm not going into the sculpt mode. I feel like, yep, I've just figured it out that the symmetry on the x-axis is on. Yeah, now that we figured it out, yeah, we're just gonna continue sculpting, and I am gonna again run out of the words. So